Hi, we're going to begin the seller's objections right now. And of course, the first one, probably the most important one, is to get a price on the home that sells it. So we're going to give you some dialogues, we're going to give you some ideas. And the first one that I would tell you is that the more elaborate, the more comprehensive, the most professional pricing opinion environment, in my opinion, is RPR. And you should take the time to learn it and to understand it and to put your best foot forward, because the better that report looks, the more that they're going to believe you. So first suggestion, use RPR. Here's a dialogue that I would suggest to use. It's called Promise That I Can Keep. John and Mary, you're asking me to sell your home, and it's an important responsibility. And part of that responsibility is to get you top dollar for your home, but also to get a price on it that's competitive in today's market. I want to make sure that the commitment that we're making to one another and the value that we arrive at and the price that we arrive on your home represents a promise that I can keep to you, that your home is going to be sold, and come Christmas, you're going to be sitting in your new house, not your old house. That's the first response.
Another response, and again, this depends on you having a good comprehensive CMA, but you might say, the sales data is indicating a value of X. Do you have any additional information that might shed some light on it?
The other thing that's worth pointing out to them is that in most cases, an appraiser is going to be looking at the same data that we're looking at right now. And from what I'm seeing, they may struggle to get to the value you're looking for your home. So even if we're successful in convincing a buyer in this kind of a hot market that we have to go ahead and pay you more for your home than value would indicate, the appraiser is not going to be able to substantiate that price, and we're going to be back to where we were in the first place. So it may not appraise out, and it would be unfair of me not to point that out to you.
If you want to be a little more direct, you can say something like, overpriced houses sell other people's listings. There's a 60-day price. After 60 days, there are two kinds of houses. Overpriced ones and ones that have sold. So you can use that if you want to just have a little fun with it. If somebody you're comfortable with, you can.
Yeah, if you got a high level of trust in that environment, those are two phrases that we've used over the years that are very powerful. Overpriced homes sell other people's houses at the end of 60 days, maybe 30 days, depending on your environment. There's only two kinds of houses that are left, the ones that are sold and the ones that are overpriced. The other thing you can explain to them is that when someone goes and looks at 4 to 6 houses in a given area or a neighborhood, they're, without even really doing it in their mind consciously, they're unconsciously comparing value. They're saying, this is the price, this is the house, this is the price, this is the house. And if you're priced at a point where it's too high, they're going to be comparing your home to other homes that have more to offer. And you're going to come in second, you're going to come in third consistently. So you didn't hire me, or you're not going to hire me to sell your home. If you do, you hire me to sell your home, not to explain to you why it hasn't sold.
There's a graph you can show them that shows that basically there's a price at which no one will buy your house and a price at which everyone will buy your house. So it's an inverse graph, and we can show you that in a minute.
Let's just take a moment and go to the whiteboard.
Okay.
All right.
You're
cool.
closest. Why don't
All
you
right.
go over there?
This is a response that I used successfully over the years. When you're really stuck in the weeds with a seller and they want their price and you're trying to get something reasonable, this was a presentation that I learned from a top trainer that I used, and it worked really, really well. First of all, don't have this in a pre-formatted process, take a legal pad out and say, I'd like to draw something out and share some information with you. And you would literally draw it out. And what I would say to them is, as your price rises, the percentage of buyers that are interested in your home goes down. There's a price at which, if you want to sell your home for 70% of what it's worth or whatever, I can probably do that for you with a phone call, okay, to an investor. There's also a price at which, as we start to escalate out, there's going to be a price at which no one's going to want to buy your house, because they're going to make a value decision on your home based on the relationship between your price and the home that's on it. So the wisdom, as usual, lies somewhere in the middle. And what we're trying to do is to appeal to the average, ready, willing, and able buyer. I used to draw it out this way. Average, ready, willing, and able buyer. Someone out there who just wants to buy a house, wants to pay a fair price for it. We don't want to sell your home on a discounted basis, because obviously that's going to cost you money. But we also don't want to price your home so high that it compares unfavorably with the other houses that they're looking at. So in my opinion, we're about here at my recommended price of $300. I think if we go to $350, your recommended asking price or your suggested asking price, I think what's going to happen is as you go to this price, it's going to become, basically it's going to start being compared with other $350,000 houses, and then we're going to become one of those houses that people use to make a decision to buy someone else's house. And I don't think that's in your best interest, and the data is telling us that this is where we need to be. And just kind of take your time with it, draw it out, and reason your way through it. And a lot of times this particular presentation is the one that created an environment where I was able to sway someone in the direction of a competitive price. So I hope it's helpful to you.